the girls, let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hating on you with their friends, girl. You.
So hi guys, it's Precious Bria. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Love is Blind Season 7 episodes 3 and 4. I've already reviewed episodes 1 and 2, so definitely go check that out. I'll have that link down in the description below. And we're going to jump right in. We can start off with Ashley and Tyler. They are my favorite couple still. I think that they're super cute. We know that Ashley gifts Taylor some things for his birthday. I think she gave him like some cheesecake and some flowers and a card. It was like super cute. And he proposed and they're just really excited about each other. And I'm just really excited to see where their relationship is going to go. At this point, well, in the beginning of the episode, they still haven't seen each other yet. But when they do end up seeing each other, I feel like they both are attracted to one another. And that makes me happy because even though they say love is blind, I personally feel like love is not blind. I think that as a human race, we are superficial and people want to be with other people that they're attracted to. And so I'm happy that everything has worked out in their favor. I feel like they are in love. I don't think they said I love you at this point, but it is definitely giving I love you. I did at first feel like Tyler was a little bit off, but I think that it could have been nerves, so we'll just chuck it up to nerves. As of right now, they are my favorite #1 couple, and I do really want them to be married. During this episode, Hannah and Nick have a conversation, and basically Nick expresses his love for Hannah, and he basically lets her know, like, I want to be with you. Do you want to be with me? Hannah's like, I want to be with you too. Basically, she expresses that she was just scared and she didn't want to get her heart broken. She feels like he's like this cool jock and, you know, she doesn't meet the criteria of a girl that he would date. And so that's why why she had broken up with him and why she was responding the way that she did. They came to the conclusion that they were choosing each other, which I am so happy that somebody in this situation made a decision, because I feel like if Leo wasn't forced into a corner, and we can move into Leo next, but if Leo wasn't forced into a corner, then he was just going to keep on playing the game. Hannah, during the conversation with Nick, decides that she's going to break up with Leo. She has the conversation. They say, I love you. She goes back to the women's headquarters or quarters, whatever they call it. And she tells the girls, I'm going to break up with Leo finally. And so that's where she leaves things off. So moving on to Leo. He's on a date with Hannah. And this conversation was before Hannah had a conversation with Nick. And, you know, they're talking about prenups, which I think I'm for prenups. I think if you have something to protect as far as your assets, protect it, because people seem to get very nasty during a divorce. And so you don't want to be a part of, you go into this thing with, for example, $100, for example, and you leave out of that thing with $20 because that person then took all your money. So especially if that person came in with $0. So definitely protect your assets. She was like, no, that's completely fine. Hannah finally opens up about, you know, her losing 40 pounds and how she gained weight during the pandemic. Basically letting Leo know at that point, I am not a size 2. Now, I feel like Hannah did a good job. Even though they're not technically supposed to be talking about looks, ironically, I feel like they did a lot of subtle hints on when they spoke about like sports and working out and how active you are, losing weight. So not necessarily saying I'm not skinny, I'm a thick girl, but just saying other things to beat around the bush. I feel like Leo was, a few other people were really concerned about that. So that's interesting. There was a lot of people and they spoke about like sports a lot, which I don't know if they always spoke about stuff like that, but on the previous seasons, that's not something that was typically televised. Anyway, I'm happy that Hannah expressed herself, because this was something that was a big concern for her. I think Leo handled it well. I personally do think that Leo was full of shit, but in that moment, he wasn't being a douchebag. So I'll give Leo points for that. So now we're moving into the conversation that he has with Brittany. When he meets with Brittany, Brittany is kind of like, I am done with this situation and you playing games. Like, I want you to make a decision. He's like, I don't know. I love both of you guys. I don't know who to choose. He then starts talking about rings. When he's talking about rings, he lets Brittany know that he's going to ask Hannah about ring sizes, and not ring sizes, but the type of ring that she wants as well. This naturally makes Brittany upset. And I just feel like Leo was really playing himself. I feel like Leo was really playing his nasty self. I think that he really wanted to put himself, or continue to have himself, in a situation where he had the upper hand the entire time. I stick by what I said earlier about the fact that Leo does not, I don't think he's rich, and I don't think he's cute, and that's why he's moving the way he is, because this is the only situation that he's ever had to where he's had the upper hand. So when Hannah makes her decision after meeting with Nick, she comes back and she has another conversation with Leo with the intent of breaking up with Leo. She goes in, she says what she has to say. I think she handled it amazingly. And Leo is like, is this a final decision? I love you. I love you so much. Like, why are you doing this type of situation? Like, I don't want this to be the end, blah, blah, blah. Just basically trying to say whatever it takes in order to get her to stay. And this is why I've been saying that Leo was full of shit. Every time I make notes about Leo, somewhere in there it ends up being Leo was full of shit. What I will say is this showed how manipulative Leo actually is, because he didn't care that much about, you wasn't saying all of this about Hannah before. Why all of a sudden when Hannah says, I'm done with this situation, you never made it clear who you wanted. You were going back and forth. Now all of a sudden it's like, now I want to be with you so bad, and I love you, and all of this type of other stuff. Hannah starts crying. She's emotionally overwhelmed. She asks for more time to think about it, but ultimately her decision was just made. She just, in my opinion, just wanted to escape that situation because it was a lot, and I completely understand that. And then he was like, what really pissed me off is when he was like, what if I said I want to marry you right now? Like, what would you say? What would you say? And it was just giving to me, he wanted to try to make the best decision in order to stay on the show. He wanted to make sure that whoever he asked was going to say yes. And clearly Brittany was the right answer for him at that time. Brittany was the right answer, but you know, whatever. So now moving on to Tim and Alexandria. I think that Alexandria is super cute. And I really like her energy. What I will say about what I will say about Tim, who Alexandria is connecting with, he keeps saying stuff about like bulldog and wanting somebody who's gonna bite back, and wanting somebody who will, I guess, go against him. And I guess this can be looked at from two different perspectives. So one perspective, it can be looked at as a way for him to say, like, he doesn't want someone that he can walk all over. Like, he wants someone that if I'm wrong, you're going to tell me I'm wrong, and you're not just going to be a people pleaser and just tell me what I want to hear. And I get that. But the terms that he used makes it seem like he wants someone who's going to be very argumentative with him and just be very combative with him. And it could be because he keeps using the words like bite back, or he keeps saying like, I want somebody that's a dog, or I'm a dog, or to me, that's a red flag. And I think that at this point, Alexandria should have dug deep into that and really tried to understand what he's saying. Like, what does that mean? But she didn't. She kind of just let it roll off of her shoulder. And I was just like, why wouldn't you want to get a better understanding of what he means by that? Because that sounds crazy. It sounds really, really crazy to me. We know that Tim proposes to Alex. At this moment, I didn't realize how thick Alex was. I didn't realize. I think that she is super, super cute. And that was what I wrote in my notes, and I don't think Tim is that cute. But anyway, Tim gives Alex a bracelet, and then he reads a letter, which I thought was super cute, and the letter was to her dad, and he was basically asking for her hand in marriage. I was like, oh my gosh, that would have got me, because that's such just like an old school traditional type of vibe, and it was super cute. And then he proposes to Alex. Of course, Alex says yes. When they see one another, I thought it was so cute how he was like, I knew you was fine. I knew you was fine. I knew it. And I was just like, yes. Like, I feel like it's very important for a man to just, along with love and, appreciation and all of the other good stuff, I think it's good for a man to be infatuated with the woman that he's with. I think it's amazing for him to look at her and he's just like, I got the best thing since sliced bread. Like, you want your man to be on you, period. Well, as a woman, I want my man to be on me. Now, again, of course, the other things are important. This is only a small portion of things, but I did think that it was super cute that he said that. One thing that I did not like about the actual in-person proposal that he did, or whatever, that little time that they spent together in person before they go off into the honeymoon, was that he did not put the ring on her finger. He gave her the ring and then she put it on her own finger. Didn't like that. Yeah, it's giving that they just not attracted to each other. But of course, I feel like she's gonna stick it out because she has put so much into it. Let's not forget that Hannah's also the same person that quit her job to come on this show, which I still think is diabolical. But that's just me. We can move on to Monica and Stefan. And so he proposes. Monica's like, I love you. I feel so seen by you. When they see each other, I feel like they have really great chemistry. I think she looks good. I thought he looked good. I thought that they seemed to be attracted to each other. It was giving good vibes. So shout out to Monica and Stefan. I do like them together. I think that they're cute. I love that she noted that in the past, she would focus on men's like qualifications. So where did you go to school and what do you do for work and stuff like that. And with Stefan, it's just kind of like, I like you for you and I'm getting to know you. I feel like it's going to be a good balance of him being able to level up his life and explore new things. And I feel like he's going to keep her grounded, meaning, being able to enjoy the small things in life and not having everything be so lavish. So I think they're going to be cute together. We'll see if they last. And then we have Marissa and Bowden. So by this time, Marissa and Bowden, they've broken up. Marissa has figured out that she feels more connected with Ramsey. Now, this caught me completely off because they kept showing Marissa and Bowden. So I was like, clearly that's who she likes more. And then you hear him in the confessionals like, yeah, like I know when somebody is feeling me and she feeling me, like that's my girl, like we getting engaged. I'm like, yeah, okay, Bowden, I guess. And I thought Rams was like super cute, but I was just like, well, maybe they just not connecting like that. And no, she chose Rams, who I think is going to be a better balance with her. He seems to be more in touch with his feminine side, and I think that they're going to be a good balance of the two. And again, I love Marissa's energy. Like, she's just so full of energy, and I love every second of it. I eat it all up. And they are so cute together, if I didn't say that already. Okay, so now we can go to Leo and Brittany. So Leo is being, I wrote in my notes, is Leo a smooth talker or is he a manipulator? He's definitely a manipulator. He wanted to make sure that he had the upper hand. Prior to him proposing to Brittany, we know that he proposed to Brittany, but prior to that, he had a conversation with Hannah. This was a follow-up conversation after Hannah attempted to break up with him. During this follow-up conversation, he goes into it and he's basically like, Hannah, I want you to tell Brittany that the breakup was mutual. I want to make sure that she knows that she was not a second choice, that I'm choosing her, that I love her. I want to be with her. You and Nick need to be together. Y'all are great together. Y'all are compatible. All of this stuff. And I'm just like, what are you doing right now? You already said what you said yesterday. You showed your ass yesterday. And then you come in here tomorrow, the next day, and now you want to act like, oh, it's Brittany. It's always been Brittany. It hasn't always been Brittany because you was just trying to get with Hannah the day before. Talking about, I love both of y'all. I want to ask both of y'all about ring stuff. Like, he was just a mess. And like a real bitch, Anna went and told Brittany. And she was just basically like, if it was me, I would want to know. So I'm going to tell you this. I don't want you to be mad at me. But the way he was acting, I really think that there's something weird or off with this guy. He was basically saying that he loves both of us and that he wants to be with both of us and he doesn't know what he wants to do and blah, 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 blah. And I appreciate that, girl to girl. And I'm a girl's girl. I think that was some real ass shit because he definitely, if it wasn't a situation where they could share information and stuff like that, he would have played both sides of the fence. Like, if either one of them were like super, let me keep my cards to my chest, it could have easily went left because he was just trying to get everything. He wanted to have his way. He wanted to have his way. And I'm just like, Leo, you need to calm down because in the real world, you're not that guy. You're not him. You're not him. You are not him. I thought that was crazy. But, again, whatever. So he proposes to Brittany, as we know, and Brittany foolishly says yes. She foolishly says yes. So that is going to be where I stop for this review. Again, this is episode 3 and 4. I'm going to be posting my reviews of episode 5 and 6 tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share.